Good morning, everyone. October 1st into a new month. Today we're going to be looking at Isaiah 11 through 13, and Ephesians 4. Bonnie wrote something yesterday and was wondering if Isaiah was actually talking about Christ, and it is. He's definitely talking about Jesus, even from the very first part of chapter 11 here. It says, a shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse, from the roots of branch will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom, of the understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. And that's exactly who Isaiah is talking about. And it goes on into the next chapter. Surely God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. And again, he has become my salvation. And he, with joy you will draw water from the wells of salvation. And again, just over and over again, and definitely talking about that. And Isaiah is laying out, again, prophecy of Jesus, the foretelling of him and of everything that's going to happen with him. And he just talks about it in some different ways, and in some ways of just explaining who Jesus is. And it's kind of a neat read, if you start looking at in-depth things. He's definitely talking about us and telling us how to have that relationship with him. But he's definitely talking about Jesus. And in Ephesians 4, Paul, he's again writing to the church of Corinth, and him too. He's talking about really the body of Christ. That it will be built up, that it'll gain unity. We're no longer going to be those infants tossed back and forth like waves and blown here and there. It says in chapter 4 or verse 14, thereby every wind of teaching and by the cunning and craftiness of people and deceitful scheming. And this is one of the chapters I really like, because it says to speak in truth and in love. A lot of times we don't speak truth in love necessarily. We might speak truth to people or share our opinions or judge them a little bit or whatever. But here it says actually speak in truth and in love. Don't be saying things if it's not out of love. Again, like we talked yesterday, love God and love people, and that's what it comes down to. They, having lost all sensitivity, they have given themselves over the sensualities, so as to indulge in every kind of impurity, and they are full of greed. That, however, is not the way of life you learned when you heard about Christ and when we're taught in him in accordance with the truth that is in Jesus. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, and made new in the attitude of your minds. And that's what Paul's encouraging the church of Corinth, or a church of Ephesus, to lay off that old stuff and take on the new. So both Old Testament and New Testament definitely talking about Jesus today, talking about a relationship with him, talking about salvation, talking about changes after we have him in our lives. So some good reads today, some good texts. Just pray you're having a great week, and have a great day today, and I will see you tomorrow morning.